Okay, guys, back with you here on the 5th of what is it, November? 5th of November on Tuesday, middle of the day. Now, I sort of jumped the gun on the poll here, right? So I went with WTI, but I think there's some good things in there as well. So here's Apple, and it looks like we got one other that's Micron, I guess. But we'll look at Apple here because this won't take a long time, right? So this, I've been trying to kind of emphasize the idea here. Well, let me rephrase that. I'm trying to de-emphasize everybody's dependence on Elliott Wave. Now, here, Apple probably, the Apple, Amazon, Google, Facebook, these are the most widely traded stocks on anywhere on the planet. So it would be, I think, reasonable for us to anticipate very heavy algo participation in here. So this is just remarkable, guys. So now I'm out here on a weekly chart. Okay. Now, so first thing before we get into any of the algo stuff, that may be the best example of the Vegas wave I've ever seen. Look at that perfect support. Just beautiful. But yeah, you go, okay, out on the weekly, right? So the algos, they're down on the 1, 2, 5, 15 minute. They're not going to be out here on the weekly. Definitely not. Well, all I've done here is just wick off the 1997 low at 48 cents. Oh shit! I mean, there's probably 1,000 of these in here. Well, let's just take the major ones here. So I'll go. How about the first one? I'll go from my low to my pivot. So here we go. Golden zone target. All right, of course, continues to go. Yeah, okay. Well, that's pretty good on the first one, but let me see. It's probably just a coincidence. Let's go to the second one. All right, 50 to the tick as we're in the Vegas wave. A little structure here. Well, this is likely what they did here. It keeps going. Okay, well, 2 in a row. That's, okay, maybe there's something there. 3, all right, 1, 2, 3 here. Vegas wave. There's the target, right? Keeps going. All right, 3 maybe. Okay, right. So maybe there's something there. How about the last one? All right, so this is maybe, it's like, so what I want you to see here is it's not the 618. Let's get this wicked off. All right. You've been watching that. It's not the 618. It's in the golden zone. Right, so all those people just read Fibonacci retracements. Oh, okay, so 618 is the limit. I put my stop just on the other side of the 618. So what do they do, right? So they just stop them out right here at the 618. They go down, hit, and then that's the last low. So they're stopped us. I promise you, somebody had their stop right there at 142, right? So that's the last time they saw it as we are up here at 257. I guarantee you somebody got stopped out there, right? Somebody didn't know better. Well, that's what they do. All right, so you go, oh, okay, well, the big one's there. Looks like that's going for its target. But, it looks like there's another one in there. Still out here on the weekly. How about that one? That's tick to tick, guys, right? That's to the tick. So what was that? From the entire, regardless of what we're calling it, the trend of Apple from 48 cents, every single retracement was a measured move. Every single one was technically perfect. You go, oh, wait, there's another one in there. Yeah, there is. How about this little one? If I can get it hot, let's get this one. How about that one? All right, so we're not tick to tick here. If I'm right on that, but we're between the 50 and the 618, right? So right, when you're in that zone, right? As I continue to say, it's just like I was screaming at you guys with Bitcoin the other day. You get in that window on something like Bitcoin or Apple or Google or Facebook, you don't hesitate. Don't try and get, I want to get, right in between the golden zone. Yeah, that's a perfect trade. Yes, it is. But you don't need to be that perfect. When we get in this zone, now this is a big zone, right? It's the same thing with Bitcoin. We get in that zone, you don't know. Nobody knows. I don't know. Nobody knows. Here's what I know. If that 65 breaks, then we get a trend change. We've done what? It holds, right? Holds every single one of them. Okay, so is there a trade now? Well, you're kind of late to the party, right? I mean, there will be at some point here next retracement. So here's the last pivot, and out on the weekly, right? Here's the last pivot we have to work with. Okay, so whenever we get a pivot here, so sure looks like this. I could care less about the Elliott count. All right, I can probably make a pretty good case here that something like this is going in, right? Do I really need to go back and dig through an Elliott count here? Well, yeah, I could, right? Just the intellectual exercise might offer some value, but it's not going to really affect my next trading decision here. Let's go down to the daily. So just looking at that right off the bat, on a daily chart, what are you calling that? Right, it's certainly corrective, right? Because we saw what followed. It was a perfectly technical pivot. So you got to label it something. So maybe you're digging it out like that. Just out of curiosity, it's going to be 23, right? So it's it's not great, right? So it almost looks more like a 5 than a 3. But what is it? It's just another V bottom, right? Well, pick your pivot, right? Here, V, another V. Another V, right? It's just internal, external, internal, external. That's all it ever is. Well, so you go, what to do with it now? Well, I'd like to think that nobody is tempted to sell it. So what do you have to work with here? Well, you got the previous all-time high that we just went through. What did we get? Yeah, we just had earnings, right? So we've had earnings and we had a beat. Up we go. So what can you do? Well, you can start making some projections about what we anticipate here. So if indeed this is an ABC corrective, right? We know it was technical. If this is 1-2 and we've yet again gone 1-2, well, we're not. All right, so let's try and line that up, right? So here we can go. Let's go sub. So if it's going to continue to move like this, so we can make a case here 1-2. It's pretty steep here. Now I'm on a daily here. Let's take a look here. We can get some median lines here to be helpful to us. I swear to God, guys, I don't cherry pick these. Okay, so all right, I don't even look at them until you guys suggest them. So what do we have here? we are lit. Well, it's already realized, right? So here is your golden corner pocket, right? It was realized right there. Back, look at this. Back to the lower parallel. As I just showed you guys, right? So you go, oh, we hit the median line to the tick. What do? Back down to the lower parallel where we hit the Vegas wave. We get in between the 50 and the 618. And from that reaction, we just got that. I can tell you guys 100 times. When you see that there can be no hesitation. You got to be watching for it, right? So, but if you keep an eye on Apple, something like that, you put an alert on it. Put an alert on the 50, right? If you see that, there cannot be any hesitation. If you see that. It doesn't have to be Apple, right? Whatever you're trading, that's a must take. There's no hesitation there. Because think about the risk reward, right? You're on the other side of the 65. You give it a little room just in case you get a little volatility spike. It's the best odds in trading. Right? I say it over and over and over again. There is no place with any technical pattern anywhere. I don't care what anyone tells you. I'm just to tell you this bullshit. There's simply no better odds in trading than a golden corner, right? Remember, as long as that pivot holds, 80% probability we get there. Retrace, it does it again. So would you anticipate anything else, right? I mean, is that not framing the market rather nicely? So what do you do here? Well, I sure as hell wouldn't buy it there. Now, that's just me, right? So I can't buy an all-time high, right? I just can't do it. Right? It just goes against my nature. So I'd just be waiting, right? So 1, 2, I'm waiting for that 3. So no reason to assume it's not going up here. sure has been technical. So if this is my 4 and I'm, oh shit, right? We don't necessarily know it's the 5, right? But that would be a reasonable deduction. If this is the start of the 5 and I'm 1, 2, well, I'm going to get the 3 up here. I'd be waiting for that before trying to get into something like that. Now, note, I'm still out here on a daily. If we open this up a little bit. Okay, so we're to and through the median line here. Here's second target. Here's third target from the inside one. All right, so putting that all together, let's see if we can get a complete count. So if this is 1, 2 at this degree, let me go up a degree. Oh, fuck, here. Come up here. I want you up here. Oh, you're not going to cooperate. Okay, we can do it anyway. So let's just do it this way. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now let's get that degree down. Here we'll go to yellow. Okay, so I've got a larger degree, 1, 2, followed by a 1, 2. So I'm going to do the same thing. I want this one. So length of my 1 projected from my 2. All right, so here would be a reasonable spot for my third at this degree. So I'm taking the length of this 1, projecting from that 2, looking for the 1, 6, 1, 8. Right now, it's not guaranteed to get there, but note if we got up there into this range, that would be right. Here's our upper parallel. So this might actually push a little higher. So if that's going to go a little bit higher, 1, 2, 1, 2. So here's the inside track. Here's the outside track, looking for the bigger one. So we'll kind of tee that up. So if we were to get there, here, let me take the big one off. 1, 2, let's leave this right here so I can take this one off. Okay, 1, 2, 3, if we get there, right? So we'd pull from this. Now the 4, here it is lining up right at the lower parallel here at the 38. So maybe we get something along these lines. This is all extremely bullish, right, of course. All right, 1, 2, up we go for the 3. If we're going to get that here, down for the 4. So you'd be anticipating that this carries on. 4 up for the 5. All right, that would give us the third relative to this 1, 2. Now that would be, pretty good rip relative to the length of that 1. Let's see how that looks. Let's bring that over. All right, so here we'd be pushing up into the 175, 200%. Right, again, we don't have these pivots, so it's a little bit of a, could be. Note here, here's the 1, 6, 1, 8 right at the 100. Right, so that's our shorthand for it. So if we're going to get this to play out here, we're talking about Apple up at over $300, and that's still just putting in the 3 at this degree. So then you'd be anticipating from that something more along these lines. Well, we'll kind of bring this in a bit here. So if we were going to come down into something like that, and then carrying on, maybe we've got, there's the 2, 6, 1, 8, something like that. Right here, or pardon me, here's the 2, 6, 1, 8, so we could get a little further up here. So how do you trade this? Well, for me, I would wait for a pivot, and then I'd wait for a retrace right there. You got to wait for them. You got to be patient. They do come. This is certainly a critical level here. Any sort of a retrace, if you got the opportunity to buy into that structure. Note here, volume profile, right? We're all-time highs. There's no resistance up here. There's nothing to keep it, right? Technically from going, right? It's just a matter of perceived value, right? Earnings projection, right? All the ways that you'd value a stock, right? Or it could just be, right? This is a, market's rallying. We've got the Fed behind the market. We've got the political infrastructure, how about I say it that way, is encouraging of policy that would be conducive to higher prices in the equity markets. How would I say that? Right. So 4, 5. But this is, it's, buying into the all-time high, right? I mean, you could make that case here at every pivot along the way. It's just the risk, where's your stop? Right, then you're just making a calculation based on, you're not using the market, you're just using your wallet. So for me, just buying the thing as it's flying up here, that's not a trade I would be comfortable taking. But give me a target up here and a retrace, I'd be all over that. Right, this zero hesitation. But until then, I think you're kind of, hurry up and wait. You already missed the ride. So you're waiting for the next retracement, whatever causes it, it will come, right? Just like, you know, you look back, they always came. Sometimes it's a long, long, long wait for one. There you go. All right, guys. So I'm gonna try and get one more done for you. So beep beep. Don't FOMO, right? FOMO. That's your enemy. Okay, guys. Back to you in a minute.